Boom. Bam. Sometimes you gotta bada boom. Sometimes you gotta bada bing. Alright. Yo, it's your boy. I'm back with another one here for you. We are playing Azorius today. Thanks for clicking the video. I hugely appreciate you. This list is meant to be a good laddering list. It's a slow-paced deck, right? So normally in best of one, I always recommend you sort of spam the aggro decks, right? Mono red, mono white, Boros is really good, these kind of things. Azorius is good in a different sense, being that it's so consistent. You'll usually win the games, but they take a lot longer. This is so safe, right? We have so much interaction. I'll sort of start going over the cards in just a bit, but you know, if you look at the list, we have so many ways of just dealing with what's on the board that it's kind of ridiculous in a way. Now, I'll start with Clayfire Bricks because this is an interesting card. We're going with this instead of Ambitious Farmhand because this is an artifact, and late in the game, it gives us a 7 mana investment, which we can do pretty easily because we're ramping early in the game with this card. Especially if we get multiple copies, it's really not too hard to hit that 7 mana, right? And if we really need to, Kitesail Larcenist can actually turn our things into artifacts to help us ramp to get to that 7 if we really desperately need to. This is just a basically really good removal spell in and of itself. Now, other cards we have in the deck, Brutal Cathar, Premier, sort of removal creature, right? Really strong. Definitely, you know, 3 of here, 3 of here. We do have 3 Touch the Spirit Realms, which is really, really good. It's also an enchantment, which will be relevant in a second, but basically any artifact or creature, we can use the channel ability to keep it alive and then re-enter the battlefield, right, which is really, really powerful. You know, we could double trigger our Spirited Companion if they try to remove it after we make a block, for example. We could change the target of our Glass Casket. They say they're trying to remove our Brutal Cathar, well, we exile it, then we bring it back, and we target something better, right? So that's really cool. Now, a good card, too, I guess I'll jump here to this 4-drop slot. I wasn't sure what to put in the 4-drop slot. Really powerful. It acts as a 2-mana spell, basically just exiling something that's swinging in, you know, something that they've invested into, and they don't get it back to their end step. Or we can also do that to our own things like Brutal Cathar, Kitesail Larcenist, Spirited Companion, right? So these are really good targets for that. We also have Banishing Slash. So this is fun. Destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment or tapped creature. That's why we have artifacts and enchantments. There's just 1 copy. It's not really a reason to run this, but since we did it both, I thought I'd slide 1 in, right? Glass Casket, that Premier removal spell, and it hits creatures. So the fact that we have 2 spell pierces is nice because we can pierce the non-creature spells, then we can eat up the Brutal Cathars with our we can eat up the creatures with our Glass Casket and Brutal Cathar, or touch the Spirit Realm, for example, right? We do have a Fabrication Foundry in here to help us ramp a little bit, help us, you know, cast those craft costs, which is really good, getting us 7 mana. Now, I'll go over some of those craft costs again. At the top of the list, at the top of the curve, we have Unstable Glyphbridge. This is really powerful because our 2 power creatures like Kitesail Larcenist and Brutal Cathar, we don't really want them to die, obviously. This is also just a 1 power creature, and this is a 0 power creature, our Market Gnome. So this will always pretty much keep one of our things alive, and we wipe the rest of the board, and then later we can make it into a flyer, and that has actually won me a game or 2 before. So much appreciate this card. I think it's a well-designed card. It's really fun to use, too. I like it quite a bit. Now, Elesh Norn's in here to double up all those triggers, all those enter the battlefield triggers that we're doing, right? It gives more merit to Twining Twins and sort of all our ATBs, right? Mysterious Limousine. Super fun card to use. It's also a crew 2. We have a lot of power 2 creatures, right? But whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile a target creature. And then whenever it basically attacks again, you switch what's underneath of it. So what's interesting is you can double up the triggers with Elesh Norn, at least on the enter the battlefield thing. And this is like, if you facilitate it right, we can stack our, we can take out our Brutal Cathar, and then later we can swing, take out their best thing, bring our Brutal Cathar back to the field and target something even better, right? So there's a lot of interesting lines you can do with this. It's hard to play with, but it's really fun, and this is a good deck for it. So, Market Gnome. When it dies, by the way, you gain life and draw a card, and also when you craft with it. So this is great. I think 3 of is really, really nice. We have 1 Elspeth Smite in here to just bop something really, really cleanly. 1 Fading Hope can win us the game. You know Fading Hope. And that is the list. Now, Restless Anchorage obviously does a ton of heavy lifting in this deck. Gives us another flyer, some extra damage to win the game, and also creates the map tokens, which is huge because the map tokens can be used to craft things, right? Notably our clay fire bricks. Go back to this card. When you create the 2 artifacts as well, which is really good, you can then shuffle, you can craft more and more. If you have more clay fire bricks, you can use one of those artifacts that you make to craft the next one. It's giving an anthem to all your dudes, and all of a sudden you have like 3/4 flyers, a 3/3 creature, which is a lot better than 2/2, and a 5/5 flying vigilance, for example. This guy with the flying vigilance just actually helps us just end the game as a flyer. It swings through most flyers in the meta, which is really, really good. It also has wards, so does this, so it makes it a little annoying for them to be removed too. So, Glorious Azorius, baby. What can I say? Wait, what is the name here, dude? Glor Azor. Alright, perfect. So this is the list. Hugely appreciate it. I have 3 games for you today. The first 2 we totally kick ass. Then we get wrecked for a couple games against sort of a mirror match where we ran out of steam, and they just had more permanents that got them continuous value. Right? They were making funguses. It was like a Azorius list with like green, so it was Bant, and they were doing like some weird fungus thing. It was pretty unbelievable, actually. And then we lost to like an aggro mono red, so you can sort of get ran over by the mono reds if you don't have your Brutal Cathars early enough, your Kitesail Larcenist early enough. But we do have so many removal spells, but there was just so many creatures in combination with like the Kakazan and things like that. So anyway, I'm blabbing. 3 games for you today. I hope you enjoy them. Good luck on the arena. I've been loving all of the support, you guys. Hugely appreciate it. I'm on like my 100th and 14th video or something now, 13th video. I've been loving it. So thanks for all the support, and I will see you in the gameplay. Thanks so much for checking out the gameplay. You're a rock star. I don't care what they say about you. But for real, this is a pretty dang good hand. Let's just lead with this, right? We'll lay this next. And we have our Clay Fired Bricks, which is a really good card, guys. It's really good. Even that 2 life is pretty decent against like aggro decks. It could make the world of a difference. Just go ahead and do that. If they lay a creature, perfect. We'll eat it up with Brutal. We actually have a fair amount of interaction. I mean, obviously, we're playing Azorius. Leaning towards the creature side of thing. We're doing the Elesh Norn thing. We just have 1 copy. We have some good 1-ofs, but our core is very consistent. We ramp, we get value with huge, big swings. Not literal swings, but you know what I mean. Let's actually save our Brutal, guys. Here comes the Graveyard Trespasser or Glissa. Perfect. Glissa, baby. That's exactly what we want. Now, if they remove this, that's totally fine. We have an Elspeth Smite as a backup here. They don't have haste this turn, but you know what I mean. Okay, we can take that out with Elspeth Smite, which is pretty good. You know what we could do? Well, it's not really the best play, though. Let's do this. Okay. Submit 0. I could turn this into an artifact, but I don't necessarily want to do that because you can target one of your own things and one of theirs, right? That actually can be really good on like our Market Gnome if we need to ramp, and of course the Market Gnome is sent to the graveyard. We should be able to draw a card. In most scenarios, in most cases, right? So good fodder, good blocker, good chunk blocker early, things like that. They don't swing, okay. I don't know how they read that. That's a pretty good read by them. Let's do... Unstable Glyphbridge is obviously powerful, but the best thing here is just Elspeth. Okay. Best thing here is just Elspeth, I would say. Doubling up both of these creatures' triggers if we were to lay them after would be really good, right? So that's why we have Elspeth in here. Plus, it's a 4/7 Vig. Just a 4/7 Vig alone is pretty decent in some decks. Sometimes you need that. Okay. No enter the battlefield trigger for you, sir. Aha! Boom. Got him. Honestly, we had him in quite the lock. We could have, so let me just show the board state really fast. We could have Glyphbridge, you know, above 2, right? So So we would have wiped everything except for probably our Brutal, which would have been really good. And we do have an Elspeth to take out something meanwhile as we sort of wait. This is obviously super powerful and acts as a flyer to help us win the game. So pretty good stuff. Let's get into another one though. Game 2, you're a rock star. Let's take this hand. I think it's pretty good. We have 2 Glyph Bridges. If we can get there, then we're in business. Let's go ahead and lead with this into our Spirited. Pretty good, right? Now we're even better along. Okay, that's a pretty good target for our Brutal Cathar. What do you think? Let's go ahead and do this. Voice of the Blessed can get out of hand, and do not want that. Now, I could use the Brutal on the life gain trigger, but I think he's just too big as of right now. I don't want to take that damage. I could block here. In fact, I'm going to. 4 damage is not 0 damage. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. 0, turn that into a treasure. They could sacrifice it and have a better play this turn, but maybe we'll have a better target for Brutal as well. We're looking good, man. Like, this is such a safe deck, you know what I mean? So safe and defensive. And basically one misplay by the opponent and we can just sort of catapult to victory here, I would say. Let's go ahead. Brutaling here is not bad at all, so we're just going to do it. Yeah, they don't have anything. Ooh. Looking like hard to get out of this one. Being that all of these are removal in one form or another. Okay, perfect. That's actually really good right now. Let's go ahead and just Brutal again. They're stuck at 3 mana, which is really good for us. That gives us a clean swing with our first Brutal. See if they can get something, though. They have to do it this turn. Oh, they get the black, so they were stuck on the black. Okay, they didn't cast anything, so our werewolves flip over. And that's it, GG, baby. We got another Brutal just now off the top. So we were going to remove anything they lay. Against certain decks, it's absolutely insurmountable. So 2 in a row right off the bat. Let's go ahead and get a third one, okay? Game 3 here for you. So yeah, truth be told, you know, had a couple losses along the way in testing this deck. The first 2 weeks just creamed them. Then I ran into some pretty tough, sort of longer matches that dragged out, and we sometimes, you know, if we don't hit the board wipe when we need it, and we start to fall behind, then we're kind of toasty. I guess we do kind of rely on that. I almost want to up one of the copies of the Glyphbridge, which could be a good deal. I was like begging for the Glyphbridge for literally 10 turns in a row. Or if we got a flyer at any point earlier, they were down at 2 life for like 10 turns. It was beyond frustrating. They had a reach guy out of nowhere. If that one mon didn't have reach, it was like a 3/4 reach fungus, we would have been in business with our Kitesails. So stuff like that. Let's just go ahead and draw a card here. Maybe we'll get the land. Okay, we'll take that. Yeah. That's like the worst target to do that to. But sure. Like, that's like a golden rule with Fading Hope. The 2-drop draw a card creatures are like the only ones you don't target with this. Alright, let's try to draw another card. Have the gnome so we don't flood out. Decent. Now, if we get the mana off the top, we'll get it with the draw. Or if we don't get it in. Curate. That's pretty good for graveyard decks. It curates pretty damn good for graveyard decks. Okay. Oh, interesting. You don't say. Oh. Ward 2, you don't say. Oh. Let's do this. Into this. Oh, yeah. No swings. Now we have enough mana to just turn this into a artifact. which is probably what we're going to do with our Kitesail, right? Let's block. Okay. They probably want to counter us. So we bricks. Fading Hope the Market Gnome? Ooh, okay. Well, in that case, we're gonna lay this even though we can't target it. Let's see if they counter it. Okay, perfect. Yup. That's actually best case scenario for us. We'll block with a Market Gnome here. Actually, we can keep it up to craft. So we're gonna let one slide through. Yeah, that makes actually that's way better. Slay this. If they counter it, they counter it for their 2. If they have another make disappear. Yeah. Let's turn that into an artifact. That obviously won't work. I don't know why I clicked it. Oh, because that warded it. So it stopped the whole effect because it blocked the effect that was part of it. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So because it targeted 2 targets, but because I couldn't pay the ward for this, it counters the effect. So since me turning this into an artifact was part of that same effect, that didn't happen as well. Okay. Cool. That's why I love magic, baby. Moment of truth. More like moment of poop. I'm sorry, you'll have to forgive me. It's 3 a.m. Valerian Terror. Say it ain't so. This love is a heartbreaker. I don't even know. I think it's Heart Taker. Who knows? Alright! Now that I made those blocks I don't necessarily want to make. No, I'm just kidding. We should definitely do this first, but I don't want to get that countered, right? So. Say it ain't so. This love is a pickle sandwich. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bro, Rock Band, back in the day, goated. Wait, they're casually doing that, bro? I will absolutely pay 4. Wait, what am I even paying for? Oh yeah, then I can't, Nah, decline. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This love is a... Okay, so now that we have a 4 damage flyer in the air, we are in business. Ooh, abada, 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 ooh, abada. Oh my golly, dude. What, bro? Think they just drew enough cards, bro? Bro. Bro. What happened? How do you draw so much? Okay. Wait, how much do I have to discard? Discard 2 cards, okay. That was just 1 for a second. I was like, what just happened? A perfection. Tolarian Tolaire, dude. I mean, Tolarian Terror, bro. What the hell? Okay. Interesting. Boom. Bam. Sometimes you gotta bada boom. Sometimes you gotta bada bing. Alright. We're hitting them where it hurts, baby. Oh, I thought that was Sloth. I was like, bro, I played Sloth heck of times. but it's Solth. Okay. His long-lost cousin. His cousin who is lost for extended durations. Consider these nuts. Oh my god, bro, you don't got nothing in this deck, bro. That was like me on my first couple versions of this one, bro. Not enough size. Not enough size. Bro, you call that a swing, bro? Actually. Actually, bro. What do you got? Nothing. What you got? Nothing. What you got? Nothing. Hit him with the good game! I don't even want it. We win. It's over. It's GG's. Rah! Wow. 3 really good wins, you know. Had a couple losses along the way and testing this, but you know, we don't worry about those. We don't worry about those. You can see that I lost the last 2. Immediately taking away those. But you know, sometimes you get those matchups with Azorius where board wipes won't quite do it. And sometimes they go so wide, like these wedding announcement decks, things like that. When they go so wide, it's really hard to deal with. And also just sort of like, you know, the mirror match with slow-paced decks. If they have, you know, any sort of like strong permanents that sort of absorb the battlefield, like Planeswalkers, for example, drive us crazy. So there are things to consider. Maybe some Planeswalker interaction, or maybe just like some ways of hard removing or exiling pretty much any permanent would be cool. You could almost splash black and make an Esper deck, which Esper probably is even stronger than the Azorius right now, if I had to guess. But I thought we'd do something a little bit, you know, simple, easy, fun, very safe, very consistent, great laddering deck if you want to, you know, if you want to take your time with the games. I always recommend spamming like mono red or mono white if you want to like really grind on the ladder. So, anywho, much love, you guys. Take care. I really appreciate all the support. You guys have been amazing. Don't forget to sub if you made it this far. Leave a comment, all that jazz. Much love. See ya.